Good afternoon, good day, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another edition of Our Conversation, our Carmichael TV. Today we're gonna have another guest, very interesting, multi-talented. He's wearing a lot of hats.
Much.
So we have Anton with us. I know him as, we met playing trumpet many years ago.
That's what, at least 58 years. Eh?
It's more than that. So what have you been doing these days?
Well, I'm an international artist known as Megaton. I think everybody know me as Megaton. I've been doing my music stuff now for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's got me to do a lot of stuff international. From here to Hawaii, Germany, and back and forth, a couple places in Florida, in New York, the U.S. I've been pretty busy with that, for the last 5 to 6 years. But, back home, I started to do other things. And I started to venture in different businesses like Jigsaw Bahamas, where we make personalized Bahamian puzzles. We started off making Junkanoo puzzles first, but people started saying they want puzzles of themselves. So we started making those personalized puzzles. And then I went into the drone business since everybody was, that was the new thing. I started a company called Drone Bros with my partner, Stephen Roll. It's been pretty solid for now. It's been like 6-7 months we've been doing it. It's been pretty good. And I've also created a children's show called Percy The Potcake that we're about to launch pretty soon. We already shot the pilot. The pilot's already done. What we're trying to do is create everything one time, like the website, the app, the children's book, and we just do a launch one time on everything.
So you just want to make sure that the whole package is already done.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna launch.
Exactly. Right now, because that's basically what we want to do. Is that's where all my focus is right now, is on Percy the Potcake. So making sure everything is sorted out. We don't want to do it halfway, like just do one thing and then do it piece by piece. We want everything to come with one time. So once it's out there, it's going to be accessible in all different aspects. It's from television to books to social media. So right now that's basically what I'm working on right now.
All right, pretty cool. So let's take one thing at a time.
No problem, man.
So with Percy,
right?
Is it something that we can is it a character that persons can rent for their parties, or is it just strictly for television purposes?
No, Percy is actually it is a character. I created the character in 2015.
Okay.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine who was a teacher, and she always complained about the amount of content for Bahamian kids. They're like, we have content from different parts of the world. Why don't we have content for Bahamian kids? Whereas though, like the Barney or the Teletubbies or the Dora the Explorer type stuff. So I went back home and I sat down, I thought about it, and it's like, it's a good idea because we really don't have content for kids in the Bahamas like that.
For
an
families.
Activity. Exactly, so I said, you know what, let me work on it. Mm-hmm. And that's where Percy the Potcake was formed. Like I said, it took some time. It was right now it's a 2-year project for me. 2016, last in September, we shot the pilot, the very first episode. Now it's not been released this yet because, like I said, we're doing so much other things with it that we want to do a full launch. Education in this country is important, but we want to look at it from where not just relying on the government to do it.
You want to try to do it yourself.
You want to do it yourself where the community is doing it also. So that's where I came up with the whole idea, let me just create this thing, sit down with some writers in this country because we got talented writers over here. And I teamed up with some writers and production from Kalash Entertainment, and we partnered to work on the project. And, we're glad that it's finished. So now everything is just left to, put it all together. And I'm not going to lie, we're pretty excited about it because we do a little bit of PSAs where the character is out in the public. And even when we're shooting videos, people bring their kids up and take pictures with the mascot, not even knowing what the mascot is there for. They just see the mascot. So the kids come there, they want to take pictures, parents take pictures with the mascot. So we know right there that there is, there's an industry for it right here in the Bahamas.
All right, so how do persons get in contact with you, say if they wanted the book?
Oh, well, it's simple. Right now, you could reach me at percythepotcake@gmail.com, or you could call us at 242-809-6571. There's a Facebook page right now, Percy The Potcake, Instagram page, Percy The Potcake, because I got to make sure I say the Potcake, because at first it was the Potcake. Right, but we wanted to make it more universal, so we used the correct term as Percy The Potcake. So you can reach us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or Gmail at percythepotcake.com. Well, the email is not the email. The website is not done as yet, but it's going to be Percy The Potcake also. So they just need to reach out to me at Google it, Percy The Potcake, and everything comes up. And like I said, the number is 242-809-6571.
All right, cool. So, Megaton.
The artist.
The artist. Tell us a little bit more about how has music had an impact on your life in terms of getting out there, because the perception, especially here in the Bahamas, is like you're studying music or you're doing music, you're wasting your time. Why would you want to even get into this? I have been through with it all.
I just can't say, but you would know. You would know. But listen to me. I think the thing about this country when it comes to music is, I don't know if it's a stigma, but it's almost like I'm happy right now to see the direction it's going, first of all.
Yeah, there's some changes coming.
Yeah, you see changes coming now. I see more genres are being accepted, particularly the soca genre. I have no problem with that, But the thing is, my field was hip hop, reggae, And what I did is, as a hip hop artist in the Bahamas, you're really not really looked at like that. Unless there's a hip hop artist coming from the US coming to perform, they want to use you as that that token artist. And to me, I got kind of upset with it, so I just stopped doing it because I felt like you wasn't respecting me because I wasn't on that level as the international artist. But when I started doing stuff outside of the country, I started looking like it's a different ball. It's a different ball game. I was getting love from different parts of the world. So to me coming back home and not getting it didn't really bother me. At first when I started off, I was kind of bothered about it because I was like, I'm doing music just as good as those guys over there. Now, I might not have their budget, but I'm doing music maybe sometimes even better. But I just kept doing it to the point where it was like, I wanted to do it. I was passionate about it. All my life I've been doing it, and it just started opening doors for me. Like I said, people started reaching out to me from the U.S., from around the world, asking me how much do I charge to come to their tours or their festivals, and it's been nothing but good things for the last 4 years. Remember that. Cool.
So where's the most exciting place that you've ever been in terms of?
Man, the most exciting place I've been, I'm not gonna lie, is Hawaii, because it was a 5-day tour in 5 different islands of Hawaii. If you know anything about Hawaii is similar to us because they have like 150 something islands, right? But there's only like 7, 8, or 9 that people really live on. But you go to those different islands, it's just like you going from here to Eleuthera or here to Inago here or Long Island. You're gonna get different cultures. You're gonna get different things. Even though that's Hawaii, they all those islands have something significant. But I had a fun time getting to Hawaii, for my very first time in my life, and seeing it for myself. Because anytime you see Hawaii is on television or people say they're getting there for their vacation, but you sit there and you go there and then you could compare, say, what's the comparison with Hawaii to the comparison of the Bahamas? What do they do better than what we do? Now, I will say they're more cultural based than us. They take their heritage, even though they're part of the U.S., they have their own heritage and their own culture, and they take that, very seriously. It's like, you see the commercials where they put the lid on your neck and so forth. They take that stuff so seriously, man. Even to the food, the people, they keep the cities clean. Days like, this is what you see on television is what you see when you go there face to face. So I would say that Hawaii, maybe because I go there more than any other place, because they have a tour that I attend every year. That to me was one of my best experiences. Going to Maui, going to Kauai, going to the mainland and so forth, meeting the people, it's almost like I get a second home there now, because every year now they invite me back, and I get more and more friends. I build a bigger
relationships,
right, and a bigger fan base. So you get to, it's almost like family now to me. And I'm not gonna lie, going to Europe is fun. The US is always fun to me, but going to Hawaii, I think that's like my favorite. That was my favorite time, my tour and my music.
So, what would you say to someone who was coming up in music? Can they be sustained on just music alone? Do you encourage them to find multiple streams of income, do music, and there are so many different fields that you could do music?
You mean in the Bahamas?
Well,
Yeah, but you be done. But my thing is, if you want to do music in the Bahamas, you have to do more than just being an artist. Particularly if you're not doing Caribbean-based like Bahamian music or soca music. Now, let's be honest here now. There ain't much hip-hop artists getting, shows over here. You know what I'm saying? It's more soca or Bahamian music genre. If you're doing hip-hop, I would say, try to do something else in that field, in the, like the audio engineering field, like what we did. Be more close to it, like say either live sound to picture. Like with Percy the Potcake, that's what I did. Because I had the knowledge of, sound to picture, I was able to say, you know what, let me sit down with a guy who direct and let me help people create a show. So, I was still in my field. Even though, I was wanting to be a hip hop artist, I was still able to use my, what I learned in school to continue to do something with my music. It didn't have to be an artist, because my thing is now, I'm steering right now from being an artist and being more a producer. So I would say if you want to be an artist, first of all, if you're being a hip hop artist, you got to try to get yourself over to the US. Don't try it here because the music industry to me, I always look at it as a pie in this country. Okay, if you say you have 300,000 people, you basically got to cut that pie in half because half of them only listen to, gospel music and so forth. So now that you start to cut that pie smaller, the hip hop market in this country is kind of smaller. Exactly. So how much people in that hip hop, let's say if you have 10,000 people listening to hip hop, how many of them are going to actually come over there and say they're going to support you? You see, it's difficult. US, you got 330 million plus people, so you got a bigger variety of people to deal with. So that's how I try to explain to a lot of young artists that come to me. It's like, look, if this is the kind of music you're doing, you need to go where it's more acceptable. If you're doing the Caribbean stuff, you can stay home, but you got to hustle on it. Even I infuse, like with my Caribbean music, I had to infuse the reggae with the hip hop to get somewhere. I did a couple songs and they had a fusion of hip hop and reggae, and that's when it was accepted. When it was straight hip hop, it was difficult. Now times are changing now. The younger generation right now who do hip hop in the Bahamas, they're being a little more accepted because hip hop is the biggest genre right now in the world. When I was coming up, it was a little difficult. So I always tell them, try to learn the craft of audio engineering. You could be an engineer, you could be a producer. There's plenty of people out here who want to do music that don't know how to write. You could be a writer. Learn how to write, learn how to produce. You make money off it.
So again, you bring it up a good point. I mean, there are so many other fields. People just look at it, you're doing music, you're only gonna play an instrument,
right?
Or you're only gonna be a singer. But you still need all of the other technical fields. I was explaining to a friend of mine the other day where I was saying, here's the thing, not everybody can sing, play an instrument, an orchestral instrument, or be I guess an instrumentalist.
Right.
Outside of that, there's the technical side.
Exactly.
You could be a sound engineer. They could be an engineer. They can be a producer, programmer. There's so many other things in the field that they can do.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You don't have to stick in this particular field because over here it's tough. It's tough. I mean, even the artists who are already established over here, I can tell you, it's still tough. If we're not sometimes not getting that backing from the government to do stuff, you got to go in your pocket and do stuff. Look, I've been doing this out of my pocket, right? And it hasn't been easy. Sometimes I be sitting there and be like, man, I paid all that for what? You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. When you're an artist, you have to invest in yourself. So if you're doing music, you have to say, look, am I gonna go full force with this thing?
Invest in your craft.
And you got to invest in your craft. Now, I always say, and like I told you, like I said earlier, it's nothing wrong with trying to learn something in that craft. You can still be a rapper, you can still be a reggae artist, you can still be a singer, but why not try to see if you could be a producer? I had a rap artist just came to me a couple of days ago, and he was like, I want to learn how to make beats. He didn't know how to make beats, because he's like, look, I got to pay production costs X amount of dollars, but some people want to pay.
Now, that comes that you just said something that I hear all the time. Do you make beats?
Right.
Now, there's a difference between making a beat,
being a producer,
and producing.
Well, we know that.
Engineering and producing an actual track is a total is different.
And that's what a lot of people in this country don't understand about making a song. They think it's just basically, I get inside a studio, I get a track, I go record it, boom, that's done. I always tell them, it's like, you're so mistaken. It's like you don't know what it is sometimes to be a producer. And I sitting in front of a giant SSL mixer, and I got 48 tracks in front of me for one song, and you want me to mix this down, but you don't want to pay for it. And I'm like, are you serious? It's like, if you take this to a professional studio, they're going to charge you much more. But, you have to understand this what goes into making a song. I gave an example with some students at St. John's a few months ago. Like, I told them, like, you hear a hit song from Rihanna, you would be surprised to know that hit song costs them maybe $100,000. That's just to finish the song. And then whatever amount of money they got to go to market that song. So there is so much money in the music business that you don't have to really be stuck on just being an artist. Yeah. Learn how to do different stuff with it, man. You can stay right in your craft.
But I think it goes down to respect, though. I mean, the craft or the creative media sector in the Bahamas is not respected enough.
No, it's not.
To be given basically the compensation that you need.
No,
it's not. It's not respected.
Yeah, it's not. And I always wonder what the music, the union, like, what's their position right now in it, as to be trying to protect the artists and the musicians and so forth.
That's a conversation for another day.
I know, but we have to be serious, man, because I feel like no disrespect, but the old guys in this country is not really checking for us young guys who trying to get on that level and say, we're doing this music too. Why don't you give us a hand? Because I think they so much shun. If you're not doing BME music, they almost like they push you to the side, like, we don't want nothing to do with you. And that used to aggravate me to the point where I'd be like, I don't want nothing to do with y'all. I'm gonna do it by myself and show you all that I could get out there by myself. But we have to start respecting artists in this country that don't do BME music the same way we respect artists that do BME music. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna always have this problem.
Agreed. Yeah. So the man with many hats. we're gonna we could try to touch. So. You also a part of Drone Brothers, is it?
Yeah, Drone Brothers is my company. Yeah. I partnered with Stephen Rose, who's also my partner. We started it in January because, he had his drone, and I was like, I wanted to get into it because you're just watching the aerial photography shots. I said, let me get one. Girlfriend bought me one for Christmas, I ain't gonna lie. And I just started to teach myself, and also did some online courses on, trying to just get that certified, and then learning how to shoot right. Because, when you fly in a drone, you just don't want to be just taking just regular shots and so forth. Now, I do it for the fun of it every now and then. I might stand home, do an aerial shot up in the air, and just give a good view. But I wanted to do it professionally to the point where, you see guys online that their shots, they have these nice shots, man. And so I learned exactly how to take certain aerial shots and, the motion and so forth, and how these guys, different angles and so forth. And just that still photography and the video photography. Just got so much into it, that I started doing it professionally. And, we started taking some shots and putting them online to the point where we started getting attention from the international market, picking up clients from the U.S. And, right now it's been coming along. We got local clients also, and it's been fun. I even had to teach a guy because he saw some of the shots on Facebook, and he was like, I want to learn how to do it. People are getting into it. I don't know. Right now I see a lot of drones. You saw a lot of drones around politics season. The rallies had the drones out there. So it's a great profession. I tell a lot of my people, it's a good hobby too. To get into. You feeling idle, find a couple bucks here and there. Buy yourself a drone. It's also good to for the family islands. Like to just get those, because some of those family islands got some beautiful scenery. Like I always said, right now I want to go to Bimini and do some shooting over there and try and make like a video of it. That's my next move right now with it. But the Percy The Potcake right now just keep me so busy. I'm trying though. I'm trying.
There's another thing that you do.
Oh, Jigsaw Bahamas. Yeah, Jigsaw Bahamas. That started in December 2014. What I did is I was sitting down and I was like, I used to rush Junkanoo. And, then at the parade sometimes you see the tourists there and they'd be like, can I have your costume? So forth. Some used to pay or some just used to give them for free. And I was like, what? We get so much beautiful pictures from these parades. What are we doing with them? And I was like, why don't we just make it into a hobby? Take pictures of some parades, some costumes, and turn it into a puzzle. I mean, what more prettier thing to do and make a Jungle costume out of from a puzzle. And I started doing it. I went to New Year's and Boxing Day Jungle, took some of my own pictures. I went home and I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn this into a puzzle. I bought the machine, started making the puzzles, the Jungle puzzles, and I started giving them to the tourists on Bay Street, just for like as for gifts. And it took a while for it to pick up, but it started picking up like after a year and a half later. Where we sell them on Amazon right now, and we trying to get them almost like internationally in different places. Okay. We tried to talk to the government about it, but we never got a reply. So we're gonna see if we can talk to this government and see if we can get a different reply. But it's been working out pretty good so far. You could find them in Dungalik Studios, Bahamas Art Craft on Shirley Street by the book. On Sanders Beach. They're at the National Art Gallery also. And, some of them are right now in Atlanta. They're at the airport in the Linden Pinland part. So they're getting around. They're also at Compass Point. It was a while because, at first I was kind of hectic about it. I was like, man, did I really, just like lose some money trying a different business? But I stuck with it, and people started gravitating it. Now they're in gift shops in Eleuthera, gift shops in Harbor Island, gift shops in Andros. So just getting around there. And I'm glad that I didn't give up on it.
All right, so let me ask you a question. For a lot of persons, they're hearing you wearing all of these different hats. Mm-hmm. I want you to speak from an entrepreneurial point of view.
Right.
Do you think it's difficult to do business in the Bahamas? For one. The second thing is, do you encourage more persons to get into entrepreneurship?
The first question, is it difficult? Yes and no. I would say yes, because the beginning, is so much red tape. Even though it's a small business, the small businesses I started, man, look, just to get a business license is almost like you gotta be on your knees for like a whole 2, 3, 4 weeks. For a business license, it costs less. It costs $100. And the red tape. We got to get physical planning to come there. We got to see where you live, where you setting up, national insurance. We got to get the environmental health to come, make sure you ain't disposing your waste. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm not opening a chemical plant. It's a home-based business. All my businesses are home-based. So it wasn't like I needed some big physical planning, because most of it's done by the computer. And at first I was getting frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I can just do this illegally. But the problem was, when you start working with big businesses, you need a license, because that's how they do their business. So they're trying to put you in their system. You need a business license. So it's like, look, there's no running away from it. So at first it was tedious. I would still say it's still some red tape when you're trying to get different licenses, because there's 4 different businesses. So I needed to get 4 different licenses. So with all of that back and forth, up and down, it is frustrating. It could aggravate you. And sometimes you get depressed and you be like, the hell with it, I don't want to do it anymore. But if it's something you want to do, you're going to be like, you know what? I'll still do it. As to your second question, yes, we do need more small to medium enterprises in this country. Everything can't be just about the government. To me, I look at the government as, if we put everything in the government's hands, it's almost like you giving them too much power. Governments aren't supposed to be, in the position they're in this country. They're just supposed to be the lawmakers. They put the policy there, to facilitate. We almost made them like they were the dependents. If you wanted this done, well, let's go run to our MP, or let's run to the minister. Let's run to the prime minister. I know it's supposed to be done. I think it hurt us more than it helped us in this country. We need more investment. I feel like we should have more factories in this country. Why are we not making paper? Why are we not making plastic?
We had the conversation the other day. How many factories do we have here in the Bahamas?
Exactly. Why are we importing these stuff when we can make these stuff ourselves? Let's say government do it's like a private, public partnership. They help build the infrastructure. We sell the stuff back to them at a discounted rate. So it's a win-win situation. Why we don't? Remember, we used to have canneries here. Why we don't do that anymore? All these fruits and vegetables.
The wastage by the exchange is ridiculous.
Yeah, that to me.
Some of the farmers, they're losing money because they sending all their product, they growing the stuff, they sending all that down at the exchange. The stuff reach the exchange. When they hit the exchange, they have to be throwing them out by the tons because they're just sitting there rotting.
You know,
it's ridiculous.
why we don't put a moratorium on certain vegetables and fruits so they don't get imported, because we grow them right here. You know, it's not rocket science to fix things in this country. You know? It's pretty much straightforward. It's just that certain people in certain places, you know, they like what they were getting or who's making whatever money on it. So it is what it is. Hopefully, you know,
hopefully some more people wake up and things change.
Yeah, you know, I guess, but it's up to me and your generation to do these kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
So again, Anton, Megaton, Percy, Jigsaw Bahamas,
Drone Bros.
Again, let the people know how they can find you.
Yeah, they can find me. Drone Bros 242 is also, you just Google it comes up. Same thing with Jigsaw Bahamas. Everything right now is on social media. puzzlesbahamas@gmail.com if they want to reach me. The number for that is 242-436-8117. Megaton 242. Social media, you find me always right there. Percy The Potcake, like I said, it's about to launch soon. You could just find us right now on Facebook. We have PSAs, videos about, you know, kids, but hurricane tips for kids, summertime tips for kids, you know, beach safety for kids, cyberbullying right now. We do a bunch of little PSAs for kids right now with Percy The Potcake. So if they want to reach out to us, they can find us on Facebook. They can find us on Twitter, Instagram, percythepotcake@gmail.com. That's everything right there, eh? Yeah, that's practically everything right there.
So, our conversation, our Carmichael Studios, Megaton, Anton, thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing your time. You know, we're going to have you back. We could talk more about the entrepreneur with me. Maybe we'll get some tips for up and coming businesses, persons who want to, you know, start a business, and you could let them know the journey, what you had to go through from start to finish to getting to the point that you are now running multiple businesses. Hey, who knows what the future may hold? You may open some more businesses, and you know.
Thinking about it. There's so much opportunities in this country for people to dive into different stuff. So I always encourage people, like, whatever you're thinking about, just go with it.
So, once again, thank you. Carmichael, our conversation. We'll be back.
Every kid goes back to school.